Hello, hello. Good afternoon, top of the line. I hope you're having a fabulous Thursday, I guess it is. I'm just gonna grab one more thing and let some people join us. Just give it a second or so for some people to come on with us. So I am here today and I'm going to talk to you about our thermal jar. All right, this will be shared later, so you will be able to watch the replay. But I am here to share with you about the thermal jar today. So my name is Sherry Gibson. I am a 3-star Pearl Elite Director. I live here in Regina. And today I'm going to talk to you about all things thermal jar and why these are like an amazing product that oftentimes gets underlooked or not shared enough. So this is the thermal jar. It is also in my favorite color, which I love. So I'm going to talk about kind of, product features, how to clean it, storing it, and then how I use it, and some little hacks that we do because we pretty much use this every day to send to school with my 6-year-old for lunch. Now, I actually thought for a second, I'm like, oh my gosh, she has it. I can't do this training today. And my husband didn't know that I was doing this today, but we have more than one. So that is fabulous. So, one of the things that I do really like for them, now these are different sizes. This is the size, I don't actually know the millimeters off the top of my head. This is actually the size that is in the current catalog. It's been in the past where you could get this size, but what I wanted to show with you, with any of the sizes, it doesn't really matter the sizes, is that you can stack and lock them, okay? So you match the squares kind of up, you set it in top, and you give it a little twist, and you'll kind of feel it click into place. And they stack. So what you can do is if you're going on like more of a family outing or you're taking more of a picnic meal or lots of these in a backpack or something, you can lock them together so they're not kind of like rolling around. So that's what I love about them. And I mean, you can make it as high as you want for as many as you have. Okay, so that is a really cool feature about it, is that they all lock and twist together. So it doesn't matter which one goes on top. They are totally interchangeable for that. So I love that they do that. Now, a couple other things on the exterior is they have like a raised foot on them. So they have a raised foot on them, which then, keeps it off of the counter a little bit if they are hot. The other thing is they are not dishwasher safe. So you don't want to put them and submerge this in water in the sink or in the dishwasher, because it can get water into the cracks here, and then it's going to start leaking and not be sealing on there proper. So definitely don't put it in the dishwasher and don't submerge them in water. What I like to do is just kind of get it wet and clean it with the tumbler brushes. Okay, then that is kind of the outside, bottom, the top. The top is my favorite feature. So in 10 years in the classroom and 10 years of a lunchroom supervisor, I could not get over how amazing this thermal jar was, because this little circle that you see there is actually a pressure release valve. So you push that in, you can kind of see me pushing it in. And when you have hot food in here, it's releasing that pressure, which makes this easier to open. Hence why I can send it with my 6-year-old to school and she doesn't struggle opening it. If my husband closes it, she says he does close it too tight and then it's harder to open. But when things are hot in here, you'll hear a little, and it releases the pressure from the hot food, and you can turn this easier to open. So it's easier to open for kids. She's 6 and she can get her hand on it to turn. I wish in my years of lunchroom in the classroom that every student had one of these, because there's days where I struggle to open, the cute little mermaid thermos or, any cute little thermoses. Not that they're a bad product, they're fine, but hard for littles to open. Okay, so that is why I love it for her lunch, is because of the pressure release valve. Always on the top there, okay? So then you open it up, stainless steel inside, all the way through. It's like all the way in there. It's all one piece. It's no like half pieces or cracks in there like that. So that's inside. Now on here, well, I guess this piece can go in the dishwasher, and I'm going to take it apart and show you what you can do. So you see the dishwasher symbol is on there, but I've actually never put this in the dishwasher. Oh, I lied. There is a line through the dishwasher on this side too. There it is. So there is a line to say this is not dishwasher safe either. Good, because I've never put it in there. I'm going to show you how to take this apart and how to clean this properly. So the first thing that is very important, because this can get really gross, is that you take off this rubber ring right here. So this actually comes off. I take a tumbler brush in the water and just scrub around on it, because this is where you're going to get food stuck in those little grooves like that, or in the outside as well. So I take that off. That's one thing I take off. So I clean this and scrub it with a tumbler brush. Then I also do the same around here, because again, when this is tossing around in a bag, chances are, you know, some of that little food particles can get into those grooves. So I also clean in and around the groove here, just to make sure, you know, there's no bacteria. We don't want anything growing on these from not cleaning it properly. Okay. Here is the trick that many don't know about cleaning with this, okay? So I was telling you about how this is a pressure release valve. It comes out for cleaning. So what you can do, sometimes I'm trying to be fancy using the citrus peeler when I really can just do it with my fingers. So you push in the valve to push it up, and it pops up, and you can pull this little guy out. I don't think my husband put them back together last. Good. Okay, never mind, it's good. Okay, never mind, I did it right, but he didn't clean in this one, so that's kind of gross. So that's exactly why I'm blaming him. So when it actually comes out, you can actually take a tumbler brush, and you can see you can go right in there and clean right in there. And see that at the top? He didn't clean it. So it's good I'm actually taking it apart with you guys today. So this is what it looks like when it comes out, okay? This is the little pressure release valve that goes back in. This teeny piece, you gotta be careful, because it is very, very teeny, is what goes on the bottom to hold that pressure release valve into place, okay? So then I take this out, you know, use the little scrubber brush in and around here. There are little flaps that kind of reach up that you can get in and kind of clean under here, because this is kind of where the food likes to store if your husband doesn't clean it properly. I'll be talking to him tonight. So that's that. So take this out, clean this piece. I always don't wash this or put this in the sink, because that's how tiny it is and it gets lost. So it's something I wash and then set on the counter right away, and then clean inside. So to put it back together, you take the pressure release valve, put it on top through, and then kind of push it down. Then what you want to do is you take that teeny little tiny piece. I'm going to kind of try to do it backwards for you. I push with my thumb on the back of the pressure release valve. So I push that, and then you kind of see that, you can kind of see the blue pressure release kind of moving in there. I push it up and push the little plastic thing on, and while I'm still holding it up, I'm pushing that tiny plastic piece back on, giving it a little push to make sure it locks in place. And then on this side, I'm releasing my thumb, and you'll see it went back down. So kind of hard on the camera. Let me see if I can. See how it's moving there? That's how I'm getting that plastic piece on and off, is I'm pushing with my thumb on the back side, and it's gonna come up, and then you just kind of get your nail under there, or you can be fancy and use a citrus peeler and pull that off, okay? So that is easy cleaning. Make sure you're doing it every wash. Don't be my husband. He probably has done it on some, and then for whatever reason, this one just got missed. So I'll be putting this back in the wash. So that is kind of like the cleaning, making sure cleaning and washing and kind of things you can do and uses for it. But here is the best part about some lunch hacks that we do like almost every day for lunches for using the thermos. So a lot of times at schools, there's no microwaves for kids to warm up food. And this time of year, you really want them to have a warm lunch, okay? Sandwiches get old quickly. What else can a kid take? I don't know, wraps and different things in their lunches. But hot foods are always something that are good this time of year. So if it's anything you remember from this, remember these two tricks. So my handy little micro pitchers are part of this demo because these are so awesome. So what you're going to do is the micro pitchers, if you didn't know, I didn't get them for the longest time because I'm like, oh, I don't need them. I needed them, and I needed them a long time ago, you guys. There was many times that like I didn't have a gravy boat. I didn't have ways to melt butter in the microwave without putting it in a bowl and a paper towel over top, you know, all that kind of jazz. here's the best part about the micro pitchers is they're meant to stack like this. And my husband didn't know that before. He was just putting in one when he would do the lunches because he packs our daughter's lunch almost every day. So he is the users of this most, and he actually discovered this hack. So I will give him some credit in this video. But what we do is we take whatever it is, spaghetti, soups, noodles, pastas, whatever the girls are taking, is warm it up in here. So put it in here, and then it kind of goes by 6 hours. My daughter thought it was amazing when I sent ice cream to school with her in here. So the best thing to keep it hot better or cold better longer is to heat it up or cool it down first. So what we'll do is I'll just run hot water in the sink from the tap, and I just kind of swirl it around and let it get, I kind of swirl it around and dump it out. Sometimes it's hot to touch in here, so be careful of that. Then I'm going to take and heat up my soup in here in the microwave. But here is the best part. When I go to put the soup in, it's got a handle and a pour spout, so it is so easy to get food into here instead of, taking a spoon or a ladle or a bowl and it's spilling, and then you've got a bigger mess, and nobody wants that kind of extra mess in the morning before you're heading out. So when it's in here, you're pouring it in, and it's so slick. Like, I almost didn't want to admit that my husband came up with this for us at home because I didn't know that, and that's not how I was getting our lunches ready. And he's like, what are you doing? Warm it up in that blue thing. And I'm like, yeah, what blue thing in our kitchen of Tupperware? Like, we have lots, so you got to be a little bit more specific. So he got this out, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's genius. And I was like, well, why don't you put the lid on top for when you're heating it up? And he's like, oh, that's genius. So we kind of teamed up on these little hacks, and they work super, super slick. So then once your stuff is in here, you turn it, and I don't like to turn it super, super, super tight for her because her little hands then do have a hard time turning it, whether she can push the release or not. But just so it's tight, like if I stop and I feel it end, and then I give it maybe like another little tug, and she can open that. So amazing product. It is super, super slick. If it wasn't for these, I don't know what she'd be taking for lunch to school. Plastic Tupperware silverware as well with her. It gets a name on it. So normally her name would be on the bottom with Mabel labels because it sticks well to it, and you can wash it and they don't come off. And then the property is coming back to the owner. So that is the thermal jars. Are there any questions about the thermal jars? So a couple little hacks on how to clean it and take care of it. A couple little hacks on what is super slick to open it up and put your hot food in there. Try it. Put some ice cubes in it ahead of time if you want to keep it cold, and then you've got it really, really cold in here, and you can send ice cream to school with your kid or take it to lunch for work or on the go. My husband's taken them out hunting in the cold, and he's like amazed that by lunchtime that he's blowing on his soup to cool it down because it's still hot. And that's like packing it probably at like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning and then eating at lunch. So try it. Another thing I like to do with customers is show them. So I'll put ice in it at the start of a party, and the next morning I'll open it up live and say, here's the ice we put in last night. Here's where it's at, right? So showing them that this product is truly amazing and that it truly keeps things hot and cold longer for up to 6 hours. I feel like I've gotten more than 6 hours before. So I hope you learned something today about the thermal jar. I hope you try 1 or 2 or 3 of my hacks. Make sure you clean it good, heat it up, cool it down before you put your food in. Micro pitchers are a sweet addition to help get it in there easier. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below. This video will be saved for you to watch the replay as well. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching.